We're not here to talk about having a blues society. We are here to start a blues society. We're going to need your input and your ideas. We have developed a structure to start this meeting tonight and to give this some sort of structure, and hopefully the democratic process will unfold as we go along. There's also been a charter, not a legal charter. It's going to be based on y'all's input tonight to produce the legal charter to start the Blues Society. But we do have a structure to get this thing off the ground, and it's a pretty good thing. It does have some bugs, and we hope to work out most of those tonight. Now, on the last Tuesday of April, we're going to have another meeting for those charter members, and we are going to present a legal charter to all of you, and with your approval, we will push through the legal proceedings in a 501(c), which is nonprofit status, tax exempt with the federal government. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Okay, all right. It's not rocket science or anything. So, but anyways, I'm going to take a few moments to introduce the panel, and then I'm going to let Kathleen Kern, the blues broad from KPFT Radio, talk about why we need a blues society. How many of y'all listen to the blues broad? She's the real deal, ain't she? Okay, let me see if I can give some introductions. First of all, we have Mr. Steve Suker. He is features editor for the Houston Post. He is also director of the Musicians Benevolent Society, and he is here to assist us in any way possible. Over here we have an individual that gives strong community support, is very civic-minded. He is proprietor of Loreno's Local Charm, and also he is a founding member of the Waterfront Association, which is a non-profit organization, and he is here to help us also. How about it for Rory Miggins from Local Charm? We're bringing in the big guns for this, I'll have you know. Okay, in 1985, there was a charter written up that got bogged down because who knows from whatever reasons. But this gentleman here in 1985 worked real hard to start a blues museum here in Houston. He is also known as Professor Rhythm. Now, he has had a couple of heart attacks in the last few years, but he's rearing and ready to go. And he's a fine gentleman, a dedicated blues lover, a blues historian, and a wonderful individual by all accounts. How about it for Ertel Jackson? Over here with the blonde hair, one of the finest ladies the finest lady I've ever met in my life. She's producer of the upcoming film documentary on Houston blues. The name of the film is called Third Ward Blues. It is not video. It is shot on Super 16 in color, and it features Clarence Gatemouth Brown, Joe Guitar Hughes, Albert Collins, and Johnny Clyde Copeland. She is also a great blues lover, and my dear friend is Heather Korb. So how about it for Heather Korb? She's also, by the way, she's also Assistant Secretary to Miltlark and Jazz Society. Okay? All right. We have Dr. Eddie and Pat Black, and they are proprietors of the Shakespeare Pub. Big-time supporters of the blues and Zydeco here in Houston. Fine, outstanding individuals. One of the most talented artists who is serving right now is our art director, Mr. Marty Migleretti, and you'll see some of his work here in a little bit, so stick around. How about it for Marty Migleretti? A gentleman that has given me some breaks in life. This is a dream of his. He's one of my best friends. He's my mentor. And he has given me all the support in the world, and it almost brings me to tears when I say his name, Joe Guitar Hughes. How about it for Joe Guitar Hughes? Okay. Mr. Mike Loomis, whose son is the most talented young blues player that I've ever seen in my life. Mr. Mike Loomis, he's going to be serving as treasurer, appointed treasurer at the moment. He is the most honest individual I've ever met in my life. So how about it for Mike Loomis? In other words, you can trust him. Filling in for Dr. Freddie Brown is Slick Rick from KTSU Radio. From the swamps of Baton Rouge, he is a blues legend. He grew up playing marbles with Buddy Guy. He's recorded with Lazy Lester, Slim Harpo, Lightning Slim. I can't begin to tell all the people he's recorded with, but he's also going to be featured artist at the Hausum Blues Festival in Belgium in September. How about it for Jimmy Louisiana Dotson? Oh boy, who else have I forgot, man? Miss Allison. I'm not very good at this, I'll tell you that right now. I could practice and rehearse and study and everything else, but I still. But anyways, one of my very, very good friends, and we worked together on promoting the new Houston Blues Showcase a few years ago, in case you guys attended any of those. She's an outstanding talent that is just beginning to come into her own, and I encourage you to go see her whenever you can. Miss Allison Fisher. A gentleman that is responsible for starting the Texas Blues Magazine. He did it on his own, with his own hard work. He took on a big project, and he's hustling and doing everything he possibly can to make it work. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Gene Kelton? Gene Kelton, yeah. Who else is here? Who else was on the open panel? Oh, I want to give some thanks to a few people. Chris Green, he's a former professional boxer that's been helping me out. Run around because my car broke down. He's been running me around here and there. He's one of the finest people I know. Chris Green, I don't think he's back yet, but how about it for Chris Green? And Linda Nealy, who is right now serving as legal secretary for the Houston Blues Society. She's one sharp lady, I promise you. How about it for Linda Nealy? She has helped type. She's helped type and do all the dirty work and all that good stuff. And who else? Robert Demore is not here yet. I don't know if Rick Mitchell's tied up with the rodeo big time, man, and he wants to be here, and he's disappointed. I don't know if he's going to show up or not. He said he was Thursday night, but when I saw him at Billy Blues Barbecue. But if not, we're going to go on without him, right? Yeah? Yeah. He's getting ramrodded with this rodeo stuff right now. Plus, he's a good family man, so, I know his thoughts are with us. But anyway, I'm going to have Kathleen tell y'all why we need a blues society here in Houston. So how about again for the Blues Broad, everybody? Come on, let's give it up.
Well, I brought my notes, and I can see that they're obviously not going to do me a bit of good in the world. Most of you who know me know that I do my best talking behind a studio mic or on the telephone. So I'll just dispense with worrying about my bad hair, the 50 pounds I didn't lose this week, my loose dentures, and the run in my pantyhose that are just working its way up my leg at this time.
That's blues.
That is
Write that down. That's a good song.
But I know something about you. I know something about every one of you, and you know something about me. Whether blues came to you from the inside out or the outside in, you got it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Woo. Why do we need a blues society? Well, I don't guess we really need one. We could just keep ambling around off here on the Gulf Coast. with nobody respecting Houston, nobody respecting Gulf Coast blues, nobody respecting the efforts and the history of a music that has saved my life and gotten me pregnant twice. So. And that's blues too. I believe in you, and I believe in blues. I have a little prepared roll call, and if my glasses are still strong enough, well, thank you, sir. I don't want this. Well, maybe I do. I don't know where it is. I'm going to call a list of names that is very incomplete. If you hear one that moves you to say yes, thank you, or clap your hands, come on with it. Here are a few of the reasons that Houston, Texas, and the surrounding area needs a blues society. It was called the Santa Fe Group in the 1920s and the 30s. Its members consisted of Black Boy Shine, Pine Top Burke, and Mr. Robert Shaw, born in Fort Bend County. George Thomas Jr., his sister, Beulah, Sippy Wallace. That's who that was. Come on. A little old somebody born in Centerville, Texas, Samuel Lightning Hopkins. Peppermint Harris. He liked Houston because we had the best bootleggers in the state. Okay. Mr. Goree Carter, Lester Williams, Little Willie Littlefield, Marie Adams, Pluma Davis, Hamp Simmons, Clarence Holloman, Wayne Bennett. Texas Johnny Brown wrote the best piece of blues I ever heard in my life. Have you ever been 2 steps from the blues? Have you? That's Texas Johnny Brown's song. That's the reason Houston needs a blues society. How about one Mr. Teddy Reynolds? Yeah. And that cold, cold, cold man, Mr. Albert Collins. Yeah. Johnny Clyde Copeland. Joe Guitar Hughes. Johnny Guitar Watson, Clarence Green, Texas Guitar Slim, Cal Green, Pete Mays, and Brady Gaines. Well, we're down to G. Should you have any doubt that the time has come for the largest city in Texas, the only city in Texas that does not have a blues society, I think you agree we're ready. Don't you? Don't you think we're ready? When you talk about blues on the radio, you got your blues block on Sunday morning. You got your blues cruise with Slick Rick Lauderdale. You got Dr. Freddie Brown, and my friends, that's just about it. Should there be more? Yeah, of course there should be more. This history, this heritage is not mine. And for many of you, it is not your personal history. But you are the people who, in some way, have felt the power of blues move in your life like Jesus, and you know it does. You know that's how it works. That's exactly right. Now, okay, we do not question our passion. We understand that we have passion. But passion without purpose can turn to poison. Like when your wine goes over. You know, you just can't do it without purpose. Many people who have a fine expertise in many fields have just plain come on over to say, yes, I'll help. One of those people I'd like to recognize, especially tonight, the general manager of KPFT, Mr. Barry Forbes, who not only runs a public radio station, but who is a professional consultant, and you know how much they make, in organizing non-profits. The man knows the ropes A to Z. He is going to donate his time and expertise to help all of us get this off the ground. Woo! Thank you very much. Come on, baby. Come on. Because you see, if we don't do it right, we're going to have a mess that will hurt blues, not help blues. The Houston Blues Society has its first assignment. Day after tomorrow, the Houston Blues Society is going into one Fort Bend County elementary school with blues history. Stand up over here. Come on. Come on. Mike Durbin and Shorty Wilson, Shorty Washboard Wilson, are taking blues history into the public schools under the auspices of Houston Blues Society. They will be followed by Mr. Jimmy Dotson. So the kids will know that, well, you know, you just don't have to bury it today. There is, you know, a future. We thank all of them for everything they're going to do, and they're going to do it real good for free. What I would say to you is give us time, give us your help, give us your support, but don't, you know, I mean, don't hurt yourself in the process. God bless you, and God bless blues.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kern, the Blues Bride. Okay. In order not to waste y'all's time being out here tonight, about 5 or 6 of us worked very hard to prepare for tonight. We wanted to give this meeting some structure, and we wanted to give the organization a beginning structure. Now, we had to work in a small group of people to come to a consensus. We designed it and set it up so it would enhance the democratic process. In other words, once we start this organization, the democratic process will unfold. So, we put together somewhat of a structure, and we hope that it's a good structure. It does have some problems. That's why the panel is here tonight, and that's why y'all are here tonight, because we know there are a lot of people out there with talents and skills that we have never been blessed to be able to meet. Now, the reason why we're here is to start a blues society, but we're also here to build friendships. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So I'm going to go through my little spiel, and then I'm going to let the open panel give me some input. If they want to be devil's advocates, whatever, you know, it's all appreciated. We need that right now. If it can help us clear up some problems down the road, and then the better off we're going to be. So anyway, anybody, I still have some of these left. So if anybody wants one of these, I can give you one right now, and you can kind of read along with what I got to say. I don't have any lights.
Hey, Chris, why don't you give me one of those?
For what?
This thing Sonny's handing out.
What are they? Are you filming? Turn it off.
Get one from Sonny. He's handing them out.
When they're gone, so don't get mad at me.
Come on, Chris. Go ahead. Go.
Could you turn off the jukebox, please? No, I don't, sir. I ran out. I didn't have any more money to buy anymore. Anyways, I'll tell you what, though, this is a lot of sweat, and we're doing the best we can under the circumstances. We made enough, basically, for the panel members, and then hopefully everybody's going to be able to read, go along with all this. But anyway, but please listen. It's not very complicated or anything like that, but it is a structure to get the thing off the ground. The purpose of the Houston Blues Society is to recognize and promote Houston Blues' influence and contribution to American music. Does that sound good to y'all? Okay. This is going to be an altruistic charity and memorial organization. The working philosophy of the society is that by promoting the general welfare of the Houston Blues community, both the blues community and the community as a whole will be enriched. Does that make sense? Okay. It is recommended that initially we keep our agendas simple, begin slowly, take it easy, and avoid bureaucratic costs whenever possible. In other words, we're not going to feed this mammoth Blues Society organization and not benefit the individuals or any type of memorials that we're trying to put together. Okay, in regards to charity, a community which is good to its members, I don't know how she wrote this. Anyway, in regards to charity, the philosophy behind this charity thing is if we're good to our community, the community will be good to us. Does that make any sense to y'all? Yeah. Okay, I can't not read at all. I'm going crazy.
Well, just tell it.
Okay, all right. All right. A community which is good to its members is also a community whose members are good to it. And the blues people are the most giving people around. Some examples of this are Blues for Food at Shakespeare Pub featuring Roger Collins. The Benefit for Big Walter Price, organized by Rory Miggins in 1985. The Pete Mays Benefit. How many of y'all went to the Pete Mays Benefit last year? That is the most phenomenal blues event I've ever been to in my life. And that was organized by Joe Guitar Hughes, by the way. And also, the Benefits for the Liver Transplant recipient, Alicia Hooks, organized by Roger Collins and Sonny Boy Terry. Therefore, the Houston Blues Society must remember that the rewards for caring about the community are manifold. It must be mandated within our charter that once per year, the Society sponsor a charity show and dance for our community. The focus of each year's event is to be voted on by the Society's members. We need to research this before we give our money out to anybody. The Society should avoid participation in well-established charity networks and instead focus on raising money for such things as a sick child, a needy family, or even a community center for troubled kids. Before a focus is chosen for the yearly event, it must be researched thoroughly. I just said that. Independent benefits organized outside the Society can be supported whenever we possibly can contribute. That means any emergencies, and then we'll work together and try to make that happen also. Does that make sense to y'all? Yeah. All right. Okay. Fundraising for the Blues Society. I'm going to recommend that it is mandated that the Society organize a yearly fundraiser and membership drive. This fundraiser will be a big show and dance at the largest appropriate Houston venue available. When promoting the yearly fundraiser, the society must clearly state how the money is going to be spent. In other words, when we start publicizing and promoting this event, it will be mandated that we let the public know what the money is going to go for. Okay? All right. Okay. Golly. This is difficult. Okay. And if we do that, we'll get a lot more corporate support, individual donations. We'll get a lot more. If we mandate what this type of thing is going to go for, we'll get a lot more support, and we can do a lot better good. Okay? Monies raised at the yearly fundraiser should be used for memorials or exhibits. Memorials could include, now these are just wild ideas, memorials of this nature could include a statue of Lightning Hopkins, maybe at Herman Park. How would you like that idea? A Vietnam-type memorial stone etched with the names of Houston blues legends, or simply a memorial gravestone for somebody like Joe Medwick, who got about $25 a song and died, just passed away just last year. Now that's something we could do in the short term. Lightning Hopkins, whatever, a blues museum or anything like that. We're going to have to plan and take our time and try to do it right. So, okay. All right, where am I at? Exhibits should be taken into account long-term goals, such as exhibits which could be part of the future Houston Blues Museum. Exhibits could be photographs or archives, in case we want to do some photograph or archival type things, or have a photo exhibit or anything like that. And then we let the public know what we're going to spend our money on, is basically the point we're trying to make. Okay. Houston Blues Society Showcase. It is recommended at the beginning of June 1993, the Society promote a showcase featuring Houston area blues talent every 2 months. Okay? We'd like to do it every month, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, a lot of organization to do that. So we're going to start out doing it every 2 months and see how it goes. Artists and venues will be determined by a vote of society members. In other words, y'all are going to make those decisions. You understand that? Okay. Okay, with the exception that artists and club owners, that any artists, if we put this to a vote, any artists or club owners that are members of the Houston Blues Society, they're not going to be allowed to vote. They have to take them, like myself or any of us, we have to take ourselves, or the blacks or wherever, we have to kind of take ourselves out of the voting. Okay. Where am I at? Okay. Okay.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, like the blacks, yeah, like Pat and Eddie Black. You know, if we vote on having a, okay. Oh man, you guys are way out there. I'm totally naive to that kind of stuff. What do you mean? Now, when we do this, the society will not take a cut. We put together a show, whatever promotional costs, like for putting out flyers or whatever else, we might have to take a little bit for that, but we will not take $50 or 10% or anything like that. We will get our money somewhere else. You understand that? We're not going to take money from the artists performing on the shows. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because I was talking to the San Antonio Blues Society, and they said they have a jam once a month, and the club owner pays them $200, and at the end of the night they give the band $100, and then the society keeps $100. I don't know how many of y'all blues musicians would go for something like that. I don't know about that, you know. I don't think I could talk anybody into that. Okay. Where am I at? Okay, the society must avoid becoming a pseudo-booking agency. Artists and venue choices for each showcase will be researched by the board and or appointed committees and presented to the membership as a whole for a vote. Only venues actively hiring blues artists will be considered. That means if somebody comes along and says, hey, I want to put a show, you know, I want to have a Houston Blues Society show and dance in my club. If you ain't booking blues bands already, you ain't going to get us. Does that make any sense to y'all? Okay. Houston Blues Society Jam. Now, this is kind of an iffy thing because they haven't discussed, I don't know what's going on right now, but it might end up be moving down the street at Evening Shadows. But every Tuesday, we will have a Houston Blues Society Jam hosted by Joe Guitar Hughes. Right now, currently, it is at Club Matinee right here on Old Spanish Trail. It is recommended this venue be the official home of the Houston Blues Society Jam. Club Matinee provides a nurturing environment for the blues, a place where young musicians can see and perform with blues legends. It will also serve as a place where talent buyers, producers, club owners may observe and scout. See, there's all kinds of guys coming in from Europe and everything, and I'm getting calls from Austin asking about, blues talent, this, that, and the other. So if they want to come out and see the blues talent, then they'll come out here and check it out.
I agree with that, Joe. I support Joe in this.
I'm still mad about that statement a while ago.
All right. Right now, they're talking about moving us down to Evening Shadows, which they sell mixed drinks, and it's kind of maybe a little bit better thing. But that is down the road, and it's about 3 blocks, so that might be back there. But we're going to Europe next Tuesday. We're leaving for Belgium, Holland, and West Germany, so we're going to be gone for 3 weeks. So we don't know if Eugene Moody, or somebody like that's going to fill in for the Blues Society Jam. Okay, on to the next thing. Blues Society newsletter. A newsletter would greatly benefit the Blues Society, but it's costly and time-consuming undertaking. It is recommended that we wait until January 1994. But if y'all got, the word processors and the computers, and you want to go great guns on this, we can start it by June.
We got it now.
I don't, it's up to y'all. Basically, y'all are going to decide. We're going to have another meeting at the end of April, and then y'all make up your mind. Does that sound good to you? I mean, we will be able to afford it, I think, but it does take time, and you got deadlines and all those type of things. So take that into account. Okay?
Bob Demora?
Okay.
Bob Demora?
Where am I at? Now, I want to bring this point up. Gene Kelton, who is editor and publisher of Texas Blues Society, has volunteered free of charge to publish the Houston Blues Society newsletter. Now, that is the Texas Blues Society newsletter. Texas Blues Society magazine. So basically, he's going to give us a page, and we can write whatever we want. Now, when you do a newsletter, we don't want like textbook journalistic type things like you might read in the, whatever type newspaper. We want something that has anecdotes, folklore, taking place at a particular time and place. You talk to family members, or you take into account. An example of this is Robert Murphy. I don't know, how many of y'all know Robert Murphy, who played with Pete Mays? He's a legendary blues drummer. I was sitting down between sets one time, and he was telling me about time he was out on tour with Lightnin' Hopkins, Clifton Chenier, and Sonny Boy Williamson. And he told me that Sonny Boy, they had this old green station wagon they were driving town to town from, and Sonny Boy Williamson had this turtle, and he kept it in a tub in the back of the station wagon, and he talked to it, and he treated it just like a family member. Those are the type of things that, I don't know, I mean, I personally think that's a little more interesting than somebody's career highlights or that, because you get that all the time.
Hell yeah!
Well, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, we want to kind of get off into in the folklore aspects of it all. Okay. You understand? Now, I want to remind y'all that the Texas Blues Magazine he prints 10,000 copies, so that means up to 40,000 people read this magazine. I think that would be excellent publicity and promotion for Houston Blues. What do y'all think? You think that's a good idea? It's cheap. You can't get any cheaper. And at some point, if we want to do our own thing, we'll get together and do it. So it's up to y'all. I'm going to leave it entirely up to the members and how much effort and work and time you want to put into it. Right now, I'm going to put Robert Demora, who isn't here, I don't think. Oh, where's Robert at? Robert, you're late. Right now, I'm going to put Robert Demora in charge of editing the newsletter, and any input. If you guys want to sign up or whatever, you can sign up, and then it all goes through Robert, and he'll do the best job he can to make sure that it speaks for the Blues Society and Houston Blues in general. Okay. Alright. Help if I had some lights in here now. Okay, he's a noted blues advocate and a freelance writer and has volunteered to be editor of the Blues Society newsletter. He will head a committee of volunteers whose job is to research the costs of production and whatever else, stamps, bureaucratic costs, storefront, and access to computer and VIP lists and storefront distribution. And like I said, volunteers, if you do want to get involved in the newsletter, you got to work with deadlines. So if you make a commitment, stick to it. That's all I really got to say about that, because it is somewhat of a responsibility. Okay, scrapbook and archives. Blues artists and members can collect and donate photos, news clippings, tapes of radio broadcasts, recordings, interviews, etc. This will be on a voluntary basis, but would be significant in helping put together exhibits for exhibits around town for current display while building an inventory for a future blues museum. Many archival items degenerate over time. The one thing that you can do about, tapes wear out, they start sounding bad, videotapes, or pictures get bad, or they start to fall apart. It's realistic to believe that you can transfer another 5 years to be able to transfer that stuff to laser disc or compact disc for preservation. It's not too far away right now. Right now you can do it with laser, but it's pretty cheap. But compact is going to get a lot cheaper before long. So if you want to do that, if you come out to shows, or if you got photos that you want to donate, or if you know anybody that's a good photographer, or videotape shows or anything like that, you can donate that. I like to remind you all that if you are an artist, if you record an artist performance, you have to make sure that that artist is protected, because blues artists are getting ripped off all over the world. So you want to make sure copyrights are in the artist's name. If we have, say, like 2-track recordings of Mance Lipscomb that was recorded live, we need to let his estate know, in case some researcher comes to us, we have to let the estate know that somebody wants to put out his material, and it'll be left up to whoever owns, or whoever the artist is, it'll be up to them to let somebody take that material and record it. We will not sell any of it under no circumstances. Is that clear? Okay. That's a big issue with me. I do not want to see any bluesman get ripped off again. So. Okay, we're going to have a special service for artists. This is kind of a sticky situation, but we're going to do the best we can. Because the Blues Society is a nonprofit organization, we don't want to become a pseudo-booking agency. I already said that. However, it is recommended the Society develop a musician's directory. This directory would include the artist's names, address, phone number, and the instrument they play. The goal would be to make the directory as comprehensive as possible. That way, in case Texas Johnny Brown's drummer gets sick, he can call me up and say, hey, Sonny Boy, I'm looking for a drummer. You got anything on your list? And I can give him a reference. And if you want a copy of this, it just costs the artist whatever it costs, run-off copies, $2 or $1.50 or whatever. If they want it mailed, they'll have to pay for the stamp. So we'd like to do that. Also, the Houston Blues Society will develop a comprehensive directory of nightclubs, festivals, blues societies, talent buyers, agents, producers, and recording studios. Initially, it will be developed for the Houston area with a long-term goal of covering all of Texas and Louisiana. Currently, the state of Texas provides a Texas Music International tip sheet. This is free from Austin. If any artists that want this has talent buyers, record companies from all over the world. We'll give you the address, and you can send it send them to Austin, and you can get one of those free. It's free from the state of Texas, so that's a pretty good cool. And also, Living Blues puts out a blues directory, which has agencies, talent buyers, recording companies, you name it, and you can get that out of Living Blues for $7.50. And it'll be excellent help in case you guys want to get something like that going for yourselves. Okay, where am I at? Okay, that is special services for artists. Okay, that deal about, I just went over the deal from University of Mississippi. If you want the address for that, then I'll give any artist that would like an artist. And once our newsletter is in publication, we will VIP it to other blues societies in order to provide them with information about the Houston blues scene. This is a good way to increase our membership. Additionally, blues societies organize events and hire blues artists, usually en route to another destination. A lot of times blues artists will be going to California. Say you're playing in LA, a blues artist can give the Sacramento Blues Society a call, and they might book them and hire them in for the night. In other words, that's going to create additional work for blues artists. And we do have, all this information is available. Okay. Now we want to make sure that we stay we don't want to interfere with commerce. So, that is a point I'd like to make. We're not going to go around booking blues bands all over the country. But we are going to give them the ability to do something like that on their own. Okay? Legal aspects. This is a nonprofit charity, memorial, and preservation organization. The society needs to become 501(c) corporation, tax exempt under federal law. The society must also incorporate within the state of Texas. Incorporation as a nonprofit organization will make it possible for the society to receive funding from corporate, city, state, and federal levels. An advisory board will be appointed to make sure that all aspects, legal and otherwise, of every situation are considered. In 1987, Ertel Jackson created a legal charter for a blues museum and a blues society. This charter, which is currently being updated, it will contain blues society bylaws and mandates and will serve to keep the societies focused on its purpose and goals. It will also prevent exploitation and allow the Houston blues to be presented with dignity. Okay? Until the society is officially recognized as 501(c) by the federal government, it is recommended the Blues Society umbrella under some other credible nonprofit organization. We're talking with people about this right now, so we don't have anything to worry about right now. This will enable us to operate without IRS problems. In other words, we won't have the IRS breathing down the back about this deal. So we want to make sure we take care of that. Now, this is where we're getting good. This is getting into the fun stuff. Membership. Members of the Houston Blues Society must remember that exploitation and cynicism are negative forces that should be discouraged. In other words, you can't come into this organization and expect to make some bucks off of it. You understand that? A club owner cannot come to us and say, I will make a $100 donation if you bring a Blues Society show and dance into my club. Okay? There's none of that. Everything is going to be above the board. An artist cannot say, we will make a $1,000 donation if you put us on one of the Blues Society showcases. You can't do that. There's something going on with the W.C. Handy Awards. I don't know if anybody's ever has heard about this, but evidently there was a blues band from Florida that donated $5,000 to the Memphis Blues Foundation, which sponsors the W.C. Handy Awards. And the Memphis Blues Foundation, in turn, put this funky little band on a showcase. And we don't want anything like that. Do you understand? We're not going to allow anybody to exploit, rip off, or buy us. Okay, I'm on membership. I sincerely apologize for not being able to read in the dark. Okay.
Sonny, you ready for me to pass these out?
Almost, Mike, almost. Okay.
One more page is worth.
Yeah, one more page is worth. Okay. Okay, in regards to charter membership, charter members will receive a charter member t-shirt. It is a limited edition item for members only, and it will be discontinued if you all want on June 19th, 1993. You will get a membership card and discounts to Blues Society functions and additional benefits. Any kind of perk that we can talk anybody into giving us, we will go for it. Does that sound good to y'all? It's pretty good, yeah? And we're going to go for them, too. The key to this is stabilizing, taking our time, building an organization, building credibility, and then I think that you'll find out that all kinds of people will be wanting to crawl up our pants leg and do something for us. I really believe that.
All right.
Yeah, I see all these guys over here. Anyway, in order to do all this, though, we have to be a squeaky clean organization. We cannot, do anything shaky. Everything has to be above the board. And if you guys, nobody can represent the Houston Blues Society without approval from the board first. That means if you're a member, you cannot go door to door collecting donation without going through the board first. Besides, we don't want to go around nickel and diming people anyway. We're not going to get off into that anyhow. If we want to sell memberships, we'll do them at official functions of the Blues Society. So we're not going to just try to hustle all the time and nickel and dime this and nickel and dime that. We're not going to get anything done and it'll just burn us out. We're not going to get anywhere. So let me see now. Where was I at?
Charter membership.
Charter memberships. They will get discounts and perks yet to be determined. Charter memberships will run 2 years. Officially, beginning on June 19th, 1993, running through June 19th, 1995. The cost of a charter membership is $20. Okay? It's $20. All members joining prior to June 19th, 1993 will be considered charter members. Yearly renewals after June 19th, 1995 will be $15 per year. Renewals, you don't get any more t-shirts. If you want one, we might... Okay. Boo. What's that? What are you guys talking about? Okay, after June 19, 1993, memberships will be available for 1-year periods only. So buy now. Okay? It will be available for 1-year period only at a cost of $20 with yearly renewals of $15. Anyone becoming a member after June 19, 1993 will receive a t-shirt upon payment of the $20. A t-shirt will not be included in renewal fees. There will, however, be t-shirts available to the general public for $15. So, they're selling $25 at Garth Brooks concerts. We can get $15. If they don't want them, heck with them. Okay. Memberships, responsibilities, and duties. Unless a member is on the board or serves on a committee, the members do not have any responsibilities except to have a good time. Does that sound like a good idea? You don't have to do anything unless you want to. Okay, if a member is nominated to the board, that member must realize that all work performed in the capacity of board members is on a voluntary, not for pay basis. In other words, you're on the board, you don't get any money. Okay? If a member volunteers to serve on a committee or work on the newsletter or become a board member, the member has to understand what those responsibilities are. If you can't take it on, don't take it. If you can chip in, if you're on a committee and you can chip in a little bit, tell them you can chip in a little bit. If you want to head the committee and you tell them, I'm going to do all this, I'm going to do this and that, and you don't do it, you're being unfair to the organization. So the main thing is don't take on what you can't handle. Everybody has families. Everybody's got jobs. This is not for pay. This is an organization to promote and recognize Houston Blues and have fun and party and all that good stuff. But if you do want to be actively involved, just work with it, So anyway, I want to make that clear because if you have, the newsletter and all this stuff, if you're a board member, of course, right now, Kathleen, myself, Heather Korb, Linda Nealy, we have been just busting our butt. It is an incredible amount of work. So if you want to nominate a friend to be on the board, come this fall when we do elect, if they want to be on the board, they got to realize it's going to take some work, you know. So anyway, I want to make that clear. Okay, membership's responsibilities and duties. And if a member volunteers to serve on a committee, say archival, scrapbook, public relations, or whatever, make sure that you have some background. Say if you want to work with the newsletter and you got computer graphic background, that's perfectly fine. If you want to work in public relations, yet you got a construction job, I mean, it doesn't really seem that realistic. So if you do have PR background, or if you know research background or anything like that, and you want to serve on that type of committee, feel free to do so. You know, and you know, archival, scrapbook, all that stuff is kind of a casual basis. You just do what you can when you can, and don't worry about it. You know, so take your time about that kind of stuff. Okay. Protocol meetings, the Houston Blues Society and Heritage should be we don't want this to be a stuffy, arrogant, full of baloney type organization. Does that sound good to y'all? We want to get down and party. So we want to have some fun, and we want to do the best time we can at having fun with this thing. See, there's Mercy over there. She is the world's biggest blues fan, by the way, so give it up for Mercy. She says, come on with it. Okay, all right. Issues such as board members, charities, special events, T-shirts, memorials, and exhibits will be decided by an open vote by the membership based on the research of the board and the advisory board. Issues to be presented to the members will be determined based on financial considerations. In other words, we're going to research it, study it, present it to y'all, whatever you think, and then we'll go for it, whatever you decide to want to do. So does that sound good to you? Okay, where am I at now? I'm almost done. Okay, there also at every Blues Society function there will be a suggestion box. We want your input. Put your ideas in a suggestion box, and we will read them. We will study them, and whatever we can do to make this thing work for all of us, we will in fact do. So keep that in mind too. Yes, Mercy says more better blues, and that way you can present your ideas and discrepancies, and we'll take a look at it, And you're not, like I said, your input is necessary. I mean, we don't want to do anything that's going to tee y'all off, So anyway, board members will be held monthly, and meetings of full membership bi-monthly. That means every 2 months. If you can't be there, you can vote by absentee. You just got to let us know. So make sure you do that. We'll let you know by mail, what we got going on and everything else. And you can let us know by contacting a board member prior to the meeting. One thing we got to realize is when we remind ourselves that all ideas are great, you got to have consideration for the people that are doing work. In other words, if somebody prepares something, and then don't nitpick them or anything like that. Let the people that have background in this type of thing do their thing, and if it's not perfect, whatever, we'll do the best we can. So, basically that's the point I want to make. Right now, Ertel Jackson, Professor Rhythm, will serve as permanent chairman of the board. Would you like to stand up, Ertel? He is board member emeritus. He is the pillar of integrity in regards to blues and knowledge of the blues. So we want those kind of people on the board. Kathleen Kern, the blues broad, myself. How many of y'all would mind if we just kind of, until we could get down and make a vote this fall, because we have to get to know each other and get to know and see what we got on before we can actually really vote on board members. But how many of y'all would mind if Kathleen was acting president of the Blues Society? Sound pretty cool? I think she did a good job. What the heck? Yeah, what the hell? Okay, Heather Korb, Marty Migleretti, myself. We'll all serve as initial members of the board with not necessarily any particular titles. Linda Nealy, she seems great guns about taking minutes and doing all that kind of work. She is, I'll tell you what, Linda Nealy, could you stand up, Linda? Because she typed up all this that I can't read in the dark, but she really did do a good job. And I wouldn't have typed all this up, but I just did not want to bring y'all out here so we could act scatterbrained, and so I wanted to provide some sort of structure. So Linda did an absolutely great job, and she also made up these little cards that for the board, you know, for the open panel and everything else. So she really worked hard at it. We will appoint an advisory board. That means individuals that will keep the organization in check. They will help us with the legal aspects and also maintaining the integrity of the blues community. Somebody like Joe Guitar Hughes will work on an advisory board. Steve Suker, Roy Miggins, these guys know a lot about nonprofit organizations. They can keep us on the straight and narrow, and they can keep the whole thing balanced for us. So we're going to appoint those people. And if you guys want to serve on committees, there are going to be applications to be a charter member. And you're going to get a t-shirt. Y'all want to see the t-shirts? Yeah. We're not supposed to break them out yet, but oh yeah. Also, Mr. Mike Loomis will be acting treasurer. And like I said, he's the most honest person I know. He's a good man, and we need somebody to handle our money. He's going to keep track of the money and all that good stuff. And he will open a bank account down with Texas Commerce in the name of Houston Blues Society. And nobody will be able to take money out without Kathleen and his signature. Does that make any sense? Is that good to y'all? You gotta have 2 signatures to get any money out. And we're not gonna spend a dime without y'all's permission. So I really want to make that clear to y'all. And also, I'm gonna invest my own dollars.
I gave you $5.
Yeah, he gave me $5, yes. Mike just left the country. Oh boy. But anyway, that's pretty much the deal now. And this fall, we'll come to a vote. We'll have another meeting at the end of April, which is about 2 months away. And then we'll have our first Houston Blues Society show and dance come June. So how's that sound to y'all? Does it sound like a good idea? Okay, and now I'm going to bring on Mr. Steve Suker, and he's going to explain a little bit to you. Well, first, you all want to see the t-shirts? You want to see the t-shirts? Okay. And we do have membership applications here, and you can get those from Mr. Mike Loomis. So, what do y'all think? This got a little picture of Lightning Hopkins right here. Houston Blues Society. We kind of modeled this after some old Blind Lemon Jefferson posters and tried to do the best we can with it. But it's a good-looking shirt. I've only got extra large tonight. If you want a shirt, you can say for your kids, or if you don't want to wear extra large or whatever else, and then just fill out an application. Give Mike the money. If you want us to mail it, you got to pay $4 for shipping and handling. That's the only problem with that. If you don't want to pay the $4, and then you can give me a call and we can meet someplace and I can just give you the shirt with your membership card. So if you fill out an application tonight and you don't get a T-shirt and you paid your $20, we will mail it to you. We'll also mail you a membership card and a little sticker that says Houston Blues Society that you can stick on any club or bathroom that you walk into. So, and that's something I'm paying for on my own. So, anyway, I'm going to have Steve Suker talk to y'all about nonprofit organizations. Come on, Steve. How about it again for Steve Suker? This gentleman started the Musicians Benevolent Society. He's active in our community, and he's one hell of a man. So here you go.
I'm going to keep this kind of short, but Sonny, I brought some information out on nonprofits for you to look at. I've heard a lot of blues. I've never been pregnant, and I've never had a run in my stocking. But I want to thank all of y'all for coming out. We're going to have a good group here. I'll be on the advisory board as long as you follow my advice.
Do you have any more left?
I got one.
I'm sorry.
I guess you didn't have that much to say, but we got a lot of people that are going to work hard at this, and we're going to, okay, And those of y'all, do y'all have any input in regards to all this? I mean, do you have any questions, or do you have any apprehensions, or anything like that you'd like to ask me? Feel free to do so right now. So, anything? Did I tell it all? We got a question here. Okay.
I was at the Bonton.
She was at the Bonton.
And I talked to Jesse, the man on the beach street.
Okay, yeah, Big Jesse.
Okay, now he said, I asked when he was coming, and he said, and I think it's a legitimate question.
Okay.
Is this place going to be any different than the Southwest Music Council? And if so, how? What happened?
The what? The Southwest Music Council.
Another organization?
The Southwest Music Council, I don't know what that is.
Well, that was an organization that handled music throughout the country. And it's a long night for music.
Okay, this is a blues society, and we're going to focus specifically on Houston blues.